Big Bang Theory Season 5 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you are caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching The Big Bang Theory, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case and you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any sort of spoilers. This will be The Big Bang Theory Season 5, Episode 5. The title of this episode is called The Russian Rocket Reaction. And this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. Leonard and Sheldon are at the comic book store looking at a replica sword from Game of Thrones. I believe the sword was Longclaw, but I could be wrong on that. I'm not an expert when it comes to the swords on Game of Thrones. Stuart wants $250 for the Game of Thrones replica sword, and Leonard is trying to negotiate with him. While he's doing this, Sheldon freaks out that he won't be able to get the sword. It's like, no, get that. That's a good deal. Oh, I'd love to, And eventually, Leonard's able to talk Stuart down to $210 for the Game of Thrones replica sword. And Sheldon says what Leonard lacks in academic knowledge, he makes up for in street smarts. That was a nice compliment by Sheldon. Wil Wheaton arrives. He invites Stuart to a party, and Stuart confirms that there's going to be girls at this party, because apparently the last one there weren't any. And he also tells Sheldon and Leonard that they can come as well. Of course, we know Sheldon absolutely despises Wil Wheaton, as last time we saw him, Wheaton, or one of the last time, I can't remember what he said, but in one of the episodes where Wil Wheaton's in, he goes, Wheaton! That might have been the first one where they're playing the Magic tournament or whatever card game that they're playing. But anyway, Howard is going up to space. He's officially going to be an astronaut. Bernadette is upset that Howard made the decision to go to space without confronting her about it. She's absolutely against him going to space. Now, Penny tells Amy that Wil Wheaton is Sheldon's mortal enemy. And Sheldon explains why as Amy asks why, and Sheldon tells her why Wil Wheaton made his mortal enemy list. Bernadette tells Howard's mom that he's going to space, so she's like, over my dead body, Howard! Sheldon's still upset that Leonard is going to go to Wil Wheaton's party. Bernadette and Amy are drinking over at Penny's place. Sheldon, or I should say Leonard, tells Sheldon that Brent Spiner, who played Data on Star Trek, is also going to be at the party at Wil Wheaton's place. Bernadette tells Howard she's sorry and tells Howard that she's, or he, I should say, is her soulmate. Wow. Sheldon actually ends up showing up at the party at Wil Wheaton's and wants to meet Brent Spiner and then go home. And Wil Wheaton, as a gratitude and kind of like, Sheldon, let's clear the air between us, gives Sheldon a signed Wesley the Crusher mint in package action figure, and Sheldon hugs Wil Wheaton, and he's his new best friend now. And as he's doing this, he's holding the action figure package in his hand, and Brent Spiner walks by, grabs the package, and opens it, devaluing the figure, obviously. And now, Brent Spiner, Data from Star Trek, is on Sheldon's list of mortal enemies. And Wil Wheaton tells Data that, don't worry, doesn't take too much of your time to be on his mortal enemy list. And then Leonard negotiates getting some Data dolls from Brent Spiner, 2 for $30, and he has to come to his birthday, which ends the episode. So, I mean, that had funny moments, but I feel like this episode was missing a lot. It could have had a lot more in it. I'm going to give Howard, the character of the episode, well, I guess I should say the score is going to be 7.8 out of 10. Howard will be the character of the episode. And Penny, I always score Penny based on what Penny looks like, because that's the reason why I started watching The Big Bang Theory. I'm going to give Penny an 8.7 out of 10 for this episode. So, you've heard what I have to say. I guess I should say I did like the part where Sheldon tells Leonard, what you make up, based on what you are for your academic knowledge, you make up for in street smarts. I thought that was a good quote. That's not exactly the quote, but something to that degree. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of The Big Bang Theory or Young Sheldon and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, make sure you smash that like button. It really does help out the channel. Share the video with whomever you want, or put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode. What would you rate it? Who would be your character of the episode? If you want to rate Penny like I do, go ahead and do that. And if you have a favorite moment, let me know what that is. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, you're watching the video anyway, so don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.